Hi, my name is Gail. I'm a YALI Fellow from Madagascar. If I were to describe my experience here as a YALI Fellow in just one word, I would say blessing. You might wonder why I say it's a blessing, because I've always prayed about it. I've always committed my way to God, and I've always told Him about my experiences, about everything that concerns me. And He knows that I've always wanted to work, and I mean to study in the United States one day. And he's always known that one of my priorities is really to glorify His name and to make sure that His name is heard all over the world. And it's been a challenge because I didn't expect to be selected for 2014 YALI Fellow. It's been a competitive experience, and I know that like 500 applicants applied for the program. I know so many people were really talented, were really gifted. They have a lot of experiences in their expertise, and I wouldn't say I was dumb or anything like that. I wouldn't underestimate myself, but I would just say that it was God's plan for me to be part of this program, 2014 YALI Fellow, Young Africans Leaders Initiative. So I'm really thankful for that. One more thing, if I were to describe in one word my experience here as a YALI Fellow, I actually went to Rutgers University during a 6-week academic institute, and it was tremendous because, as I said, I've always been a huge fan of universities in the States, and I've always been inspired by how teachers in the United States teach teach students, the way they approach you, the way they teach you, the way they interact with you to make you aware that they care about what you do, and to make you understand that they want you to succeed. That kind of experience I actually got an evidence that all the things that I read about America, about the American system, educational system, was not wrong. That I just got evidence that all the things that I saw at the Education USA Center when I interned there during 10 months was not a lie, but was totally true. And I was super excited because there was no gap between the professor and the students, which made obviously everything easier. That made me personally as a person really effective in the things I did, and it really made me aware that I have a goal to reach, and in order for me to reach that goal, I really have to make an effort. I really need to work hard, and I would certainly at some point I did cram like everybody, which was not necessarily good, but at some point it was part of the experience, cramming in the United States. You have a lot of homeworks, you have a lot of assignments to do, and you have to respect the deadline as well, which was great because that made me personally very time conscious. I've always known that because, as I said, I've always been a huge fan of the American educational system, but I've also been a huge fan of the American way of life insofar as, it's a community where you have to work hard, you have to be really time conscious, work hard, play hard, that kind of thing. And that made me aware that in order for you to succeed, you have to invest in it. You have to love what you do. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. You just don't have to do it to go to work, for example, because you want to be paid for it. Of course, there's money behind it. That's part of the motivation. But it's not just about money. It's mostly about you being passionate about what you do. And same thing, the last part of my experience here as a YALI Fellow, as a Young African Leaders Initiative Fellow, recently called Mandela Washington Fellowship. So guys, my third part here is the internship. So I'm blessed because among the Malagasy Fellows who applied, I'm the only one who received the internship. Again, because that's what God's plan was for me. And it's been really enriching for me as an experience because they placed me at Peace Corps. So I've been doing internship. I'm still doing my internship there. I've been there for 2 months in total, and it's been great so far. I've been rotating in 4 departments. I started in OPATS. We basically dealt with training, programming, like, if they send the volunteers all around the world, for example, let's say in Madagascar, they have to make sure that the volunteers are really cared about, that the volunteers know what they expect once they're in the country. They're going to serve during 2 years or 3 years. And that's basically what we did there. And so I had a lot of inspiring volunteerism model that Peace Corps has used for couple of years now, and they've been great in so far, and I was totally blown away by all the things that they did, and I was really fortunate, and I'm so fortunate because I'm still at Peace Corps right now. So my second department is called Verse. I'm actually working with ODNO. We basically, it's actually an office which deals with diversity and outreach. So what they do basically is they make sure that all the volunteers that they send all around the world, let's say in Asia or in Africa or wherever in the world, they make sure that all this population, all those volunteers represent Africa. I mean the American population, because I don't know if you've heard, I don't know if you noticed it, but because I'm a Malagasy girl, I know that in my country, people, when they think, I wouldn't say everybody, there's some exceptions, like a lot of exceptions, but most of the people, when you say America, they might think white people, or, white people would be the Americans for them, which is not the truth. You know that the Americans, that the Asian Americans or the African Americans, the Native Americans, or so many other people are also Americans, but since America is a very diverse population, they are not aware of that. So that's what we do. That's what ODNO do in their unit. They make sure that all the volunteers that they send are really representative of the American population. So my next step will be congratulations. We'll be working with the government, and we'll go to a couple of governmental places. I will learn basically how the relationship with between Peace Corps and the government is all about. And fourth, which will be my last unit, is called Third Goal. Third Goal is very important because once the volunteers are back from their countries, from their respective countries, they're going to do work. They're going to make sure that they represent the countries where they serve. Let's say I'm American and I went to Madagascar to serve during 2 years. People in America would not know exactly how, they would not necessarily understand how the Malagasy people from Madagascar will live, or how everything is there, unless the volunteers really represent or act really as an ambassador of the respective country of service. So that's what we do basically at Third Goal. That's just basic things, but they do a lot of things. They cover a lot of things, like they make sure that the volunteers, when they're back from their countries of service, they are taken care of, and they make sure that they have, for example, job opportunities available for them, so that after their service they got an opportunity to get work, new job. They have that kind of things. They think about how the volunteers can really serve well when they are in the countries, but they also make sure that the future of their volunteers is really taken care of. You see what I mean? Okay, so it's been a tremendous experience, and I'm really thankful to God again for that experience, because I wouldn't afford it. I really wouldn't afford it. It's not because I'm smart. It's not because I made well. It's not because of me. It's really because God is great, and He has His plans for me, and that's just part of His blessing in my life. And I know that so many people out there are really good, And I'm not bad. I'm not saying that I'm dumb, but it's really God's plan for me to be part of this program. So I'm really thankful for this, and I'm thankful for IREX, I'm thankful for Peace Corps, and I'm thankful for every single person who has contributed in making this thing possible, because it's really tremendous, and I would change forever. I mean, I've changed so much, and I will never be the same anymore. I've gotten better in so many parts, in so many things in my life, and I know that I still have a lot to learn, and I can wait to teach, I can wait to share what I've learned here to my peers in Madagascar.